So this that shit right here, right? This is why men need to listen to women and women need to listen to men. You know what I'm saying? Dudes ain't just making this content to be funny. Because of how this is what's transpiring inside the mind. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't be like, oh, it's music, it's just business. It's deeper than that. It has nothing to do with the public image. They are a couple. Like, there's supposed to be boundaries set before the performance, which means, like, first off, they've been performing it together. Like, come on, bro. Ain't nobody saying he a square. But let me say this. If things turn around and the way the Lord works, it ain't going to happen tomorrow, next week, or next year. It's going to happen deep pause. It's going to happen down the line in their relationship. If this is a real thing with him and her, it's going to be down the line when some new, young, hot artist is going to sweep his woman off of her feet, and he's going to have a very visceral reaction to what he sees. And Lord allow he remembers, Lord allow he remembers all of the damn married women that he fondled. You understand, when things happen in front of him, because the Lord did the same thing to King David. He said, you did this thing privately, I'm gonna do something in front of the sun. Understand? And Usher ain't did none of this private, so hell, it might happen in secret, but nonetheless, you know what I'm saying? This is a terrible lesson for men to think that it's cool to touch other women. He a grown ass man. He gotta have some control. You understand? Like that's the biggest deal. You can't act like a goddamn child anymore. And y'all R&B stars, stop acting like y'all ain't never had no vagina, or you not gonna get none if you don't touch this particular box. It don't work like that.
Captain Potazai here in Louisville, Kentucky. Southern Ohio came out here, help represent in their food and clothing drive. Got set up here. Set up. Brothers got the people getting them clothes, getting them food. Got little sack lunches for people, canned goods for the people. Got clothes for the people. If you see this stream, come on down here and get some of this free stuff so it's all gone. How we a hate group and we feeding and clothing the heathen? Hate groups don't act like this. When the KKK passed out food and clothes to black people, never. Only thing they passed out was a noose. But the I.S.U.P.K and the Commander GEN.YAHANNA, this is what we do. With those canned goods, come down here, get you a little sandwich. His brothers do this out of all they own pocket too. This is what we do. Come out, we feed the people, clothe the people. Look, right down the street, let me show y'all. Right down the street, you can't really see it. They kind of cleared them out. The police come and clear them out, but way down over there, you see a group of homeless people down there. They was all just up under this bridge right here. There's another group of them right down at the end. I don't know if you can see that, but Louisville, Kentucky has a horrible homelessness problem. right? And so, of course, what's the cure for that? The I.S.U.P.K. I.S.U.P.K. is the cure. So that's it, Israel. That's what we're doing today. Just getting it in, feeding the people, getting their names. Get their names. Sign that list. Get your name on that list so we can get more funding. Nice little foot traffic in this place. The Thorntons. Thorntons, where we at? We on First and what's this other? First and Broadway. First and Broadway, Louisville, Kentucky. Man, my man got him some shoes, some ones. Got him a suit jacket tied around his waist. Can't tell him nothing. One oppressor came over and was like, man, these New Balance, they're a little tight, but they knew I'd take them. He was happy as a pig in slop. All right, take it easy. Uh-huh. You want to say something for the camera?
Right. Thank you. Thank you. How you doing it? All right, bro.
Doing it? Yeah. All right, brother. Quadazar, you want to say something for the camera?
You got mighty men out here doing the Lord's work.
That's right. That's right. He camera shy. He don't want to say nothing. I'm one.
Thanks, Lord Christ. I think Kentucky really bad. Feeding the forgotten, man. People, everybody forgot about. Man, the hundred men forget about it. Tune into I.S.U.P.K. Every major city, all over social media. TikTok, we took over TikTok. TikTok ain't for the kids no more. We took over TikTok too. Tune in, I.S.U.P.K. Typing in. You know, I
That's right. How yourself?
I.S.U.P.K. Kentucky. What he taught us to do, doing the Lord's work.
Yeah.
Passing out food and clothes to the people.
Man, save me a can of them peaches, right? No, I'm joking. Yeah.
And seeing this, and they need the help, or even don't need the help. Come on down here and holler at us. We got you.
Yeah, take it for somebody who do need it. You know what I mean? Yeah.
That's what we got here for.
Most High Christ.
I.S.U.P.K. Kentucky, I'm the commander general GEN.YAHANNA.
Yeah.
Doing the Lord's work.
That's right. Most High Christ. Got little bags.
Here in the I.S.U.P.K. under Command GEN.YAHANNA. What do you got to say about that?
We hate what happened to blacks and Hispanics in the transatlantic slave trade. I hate what happened during the Trail of Tears.
We hate the destruction of Black Wall Street.
I hate the destruction of our people in Rosewood. I hate the Southern Poverty Law Center because they're not qualified to tell you who is a hate group and who is not.
And we hate the police brutality against blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans.
What do you think? Are we a hate group? In fact, I think we are a hate group. We hate what the Lord hates.
The Southern
I'm pretty sure you understand why, man. I'm pretty sure you understand why, man.
But if you wouldn't do another boot kiss, we'll take it. You want to kiss the boots right now? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Hey, this is an honorable white man. Hey, this is an honorable white. Hey, it's an honorable white man. You want to kiss the boot? Kiss that brother's boots, man. Right here. Quick, brother. This brother is showing that he's sorry.
One more boot.
He's done to our people.
Yeah, right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's hey, you showing that you honorable. You know what I'm saying? The Lord might have mercy on you, man.
Yeah, right.
Understand?
Hey, listen, and it ain't nothing against you, it's against the whole race of your people.
Understand. I believe that I've been called.
Yeah, I'm right.
I like you guys on YouTube.
Okay. Most High Christ. Appreciate you.
It's Black History Month. I'm gonna give y'all some Black history you might not know about. When you think of fried chicken, you think of black people.
Everybody know we love fried chicken. It's damn near like an obsession. And everybody know grandmama and them make some of the best fried chicken on the planet, hands down. Like it's no competition out there at all. But how many of y'all knew that it's an actual recipe in the Holy Bible about how to make chicken? Further proving my point that the Bible is a black book. But if you don't believe me, here it is in Leviticus, the 2nd chapter, verse 5. And if thy oblation be a meat offering baking in the frying pan, it shall be made of fine flour with oil. To this day, this is exactly how black people make fried chicken. We exposed the world to it, and they made all these popular franchises like KFC and Popeyes. Know your history. Shalom. Since it's Black History Month, I'm going to give y'all some black history you might not know about. When you think of fried chicken,
this Bob Marley movie, man. I hope this Bob Marley movie does not have the same effect that Wakanda had on my brothers and sisters, so-called black people. I hope y'all don't start glorifying marijuana more than it is glorified already. You understand? Everything about Bob Marley is anti-black. First of all, Bob Marley is not a black man. His father was a white man who had a child with a black woman. Second of all, dreadlocks that Bob Marley rocks, that has nothing to do with so-called black culture. That comes from East Indian culture. You understand? That was incorporated into Rastafarianism. Rastafarianism, that is not black culture. That is something that black people have put on themselves, but it has nothing to do with their real culture. Okay, everything is not going to be all right if you try to follow Bob Marley and try to be Rastafarian. Everything is not going to be all right if you don't come back to your true culture, which is in the Bible. If you're a so-called black man, Latino, Native American Indian, you are the Israelite to the Bible, the 12 tribes. And nowhere in the Bible does it say to wear dreadlocks, to smoke marijuana, and to be a Rastafarian. It's against your God. We got to snap out of this fake reality that they're trying to push into our heads and wake up to our true identity. In the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge and the Commander GEN.YAHANNA, that is exactly what we do and exactly what we push. It's time to wake up out of this sleep that they're forcing us to be in. It's 2024. It's going to be a crazy year. Let's not waste it on nonsense like this movie.
Hey, Shalom TikTok. This is the second video on feed. This is how we actually give the spent grain to the animals. This is the spent grain that you would see in the first video I did earlier today. If you didn't see it, go back and watch all the videos. And this is the goats. This is the goats we looked at. We're feeding them now. This is not all the goats. We have some goats that locked up. But this is the way. This is how we are able to feed these goats. We're using the spent grain from the brewery. So that's what you're seeing here. And I'll give you a shot of the sheep. Okay, Israel. Again, this is I.S.U.P.K. Bahamas, Akashka. This is some of the sheep that is feeding now. Again, the barley that I got from the brewery earlier. This is most of the sheep under the covered area. But they're just starting to feed. So we'll fill up these containers here with the remainder of the barley and they'll eat for the rest of the day. I.S.U.P.K. Bahamas. Shalom. Till next time. Akashka here.
That's why I don't know you. I'm not letting nobody sell you crack. You know why? Because I never saw you before. But you a black man like me. That's right. And it's worth something.
This is Black Watch with Commanding General Yahanna, the only man to lead blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans.
God made man on this earth. The white man he made man. God made man. God wants man to obey him.
Bringing you real news.
We don't need a black man in the White House. We need a black man in every black house.
For many years, there's a lot of black people who didn't realize how deep the racism of white America was.
You ain't gonna do nothing unless you decide where you gonna stand at with the Most High.
This station is now the ultimate power in the universe.
Righteous solutions to issues plaguing our nation.
Boy, you better wake up and see the power that is within blacks, Latinos, and Native Indians.
Join us every Monday from 9 to 11 p.m. Black Watch. Let the show begin.
ISUPK.com. Let me tell you something. Muhammad beat me up last week. I didn't know just what to say to beat my ass. I ain't gonna tell you what he said. All I'm gonna say is ISUPK.com. Good job. I would say stuff. We going on. Brotherhood still. Come on. I hope everybody had a good time yesterday. Enjoyed themselves at the game. Ate your wings, you know what I'm saying? Had your dip. I heard all kind of new dips came out and drinks. Everybody had a good time, you know what I mean? I totally get it and understand. I know it could be a thrill every now and then to watch black men run up and down the field in their underwear, fighting over a piece of pork. An inflated piece of pork at that. Must be a thrill. Must be a thrill. So, congratulations, man. Big shout out to got the heavy hitters in the building. General Mahab in the house. General Mahab in the building. General Mahab is off tonight. We'll see him next week. Big shout out to the General down DC, man. Holding us down. General Shalom, General Q, General Kathum Gabar, or vice versa. Salam, if I got it wrong. Big shout out to them. In the building, as always. Put the camera on him. Put the camera on him. Badass officer around and his whole squad. You see, he got the full gangster, the priest dog, the suspects on here, and his whole entire team. You know what I'm saying? Holding it down, man. Keeping us going every week. Also, too, before I forget, big shout out to Mashak Mayan working them tapes for us. Let's give it up. All the crew that's here with Morale, and also to Patazat and Thabawam, man, bringing us these stories every week. They definitely vigilant on it. You understand? Like, you know, without Esau's big bad money, you have to come together and rely on the Brotherhood. And without the Brotherhood, you're not gonna build nothing because you don't got nothing. Right. You understand? The rich they make a phone call, bring up the limo, transfer this money to this account, pay this guy to do this. You know what I'm saying? That's what the rich do. Book me a flight. But if you're poor, you're struggling, you trying to build, and you have to rely on the brotherhood and sisterhood. We rely on it in here. We rely on every last one of you. You know what I mean? And because of every brother and sister that comes up in this work and stands strong, we doing amazingly. And boy, oh boy, oh boy. You lost me?
No, sir, your mic.
Oh, Salah. Did they get any of that, or was it all? It was just low. Okay, to water. Just I got you. Not in the zone. Come. So and you know, 2024. Okay, is the year of the sisters. Give it up. Come on. Now, don't nobody lose their mind. Quick, GEN.YAHANNA's a lost me. Every purple gay man, every purple, what am I using? Come on, you guys. Purple lads. There you go, purple lads. Every purple lad will be making a tape after that, saying something. But 2024 is the year, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because 2024 is the year of feeding and clothing this nation. 2024 is the year that this nation, that Esau's nation, goes down a notch. What you saw in 2023, towards the end of 2023, what you saw was the Lord shift here. Esau always wins.
Even when he loses, he wins. But 2023, he went down a notch. 2024, he's going to go down another notch. Now, you about to see why we were screaming like maniacs on those streets towards our sisters. Now you're going to see it like you never seen before. If anybody watched, I don't know if we'll get to it tonight, but if anybody watched that Monique interview, Monique called her man the king. Straight up. She said, he's the king. I said, Coco. I said, go ahead. And let me tell you something. That's what happens when you don't have no ambition with Esau no more. When you're done with trying to be him and be in his world and trying to appease him and please him, then you're going to just say the truth. And the truth going to come out. And she said it. She said, listen, she said he was my best friend before we even got involved. She told a hell of a story. She said he was my best friend, you know, when I was down, when I was struggling. She said, and one day he came to me and said, I want to talk. And we talked. She said, they've been together 19 years. She said, that's why he's always in the interviews. He's always strengthening her, always lifting her up, always making sure she all right. And she even came back at him and said, why, since when is it strange that a woman has her husband beside her when doing an interview? Like it was a time when that was normal. It was just regular. But now it's like the sisters is dragging me because I bring my husband in because he making sure I'm good, she said. I'm paraphrasing. You can go back and look at it. Try minute 1 hour and what is it? About an hour and 50 minutes in or something like that. She goes in, and this is the year where sisters is going to shine. And here's what's deep about it. There's a lot of you wonderful sisters out there, a lot of you, and you've been passed by because of whoredoms in this kingdom. You've been passed by. You've been treated like you was nothing. And the ones that was horrible, the ones that you see on that screen today, let me run for a second, y'all. Ones that was on that screen today, all up in the music world and all of that, that's the one everybody looks at. Like that sister that let that sodomite in the Super Bowl squeeze all up on her, even though she was married. You understand? Like that's the kind of people that get recognized. But them sisters you read about in them scriptures, that's not them. And what's happening now in 2024 is those sisters is getting recognized now. And they getting courageous with it, man. And here's why. Because they know it's a great benefit for them if the brothers come to them. Get me right. The brothers come to them, they're going to build families. They're going to raise children. And a lot of you who have not been right, you better get right. Monique even said it in the interview. She said she was a hoe. She said straight, she was naked in this interview. She said, I was a hoe. She said her brother robbed her, sexually abused her own brother. Sexually abused her, robbed her, stole her money, different kinds. She was talking about the horrible things that happened. And you hear the story, you know what I mean? If it's all true, brother, she triumphed past a lot and did it because she found the right brother. And it's what we've been saying. Listen, you couldn't even say nothing to the sisters 10 years ago, right or wrong. You seen the tapes, the old tapes. You said it, you didn't even have to say anything to her. Yep. You just stood up on the podium. It was a problem. It was like you was in violation for elevating yourself up on a piece of wood. It was like, am I lying? No lie, I'm not exaggerating. Nope. You got up on the wood. It was like, what you doing? You could be talking about Mars and you be in an argument. Yep. Well, that's changing now. Everybody's finding out that the scriptures was right. The Lord was right. Everything was right. We the ones that was wrong. And so it's still a few holdouts. Esau's still putting a ton of cash behind it, trying to brainwash everybody. But Monique came out with it strong behind a black man out. And then brought out all the Hollywood mess and all. I ain't going to go all into it. But 2024, you're going to see the sisters really, really powerful. And the Purple Lads and the rest of them that been, dabbling in all kind of lewd things, you're going to find out the mistake that you made. I'm getting up off of it, man. We're going to get into the show. You understand? Lot to talk about tonight, lot of to unpack. Heavy hitters gonna eat it up, break it down, spit it back out. Let's go, Yediah.
Khan. Racists target black restaurant owner with abuse for opening in their white city.
What city?
Khan, sir. Highly acclaimed North Carolina chef Ashley Shante, who owns a restaurant that celebrates black history through its food and decor, says a group of racists shut off the power while customers were dining and left a racist sticker near the restaurant's entrance.
Let me tell you something. That, if I could, y'all, that is exactly like when, like, you wondering why we don't have businesses. Like, it's so easy to call us lazy and shiftless. When, brother, we are the hardest working people you ever met. We just, hands down, every tribe. Start with the tribe of Judah. And you wonder why, oh, black people's lazy. Oh, black people, you know, don't want to work. That's a damn lie. Like, we got to work 3 times as hard and get pushed back against. And now when her restaurant is gone and a white restaurant is there, then they'll be like, see, that's because black people don't want to work.
Right.
Meanwhile, that's terrorism.
Don't forget about it.
Am I wrong?
No.
That's terrorism. They're supposed to be locked up. They're supposed to be in jail behind this right here. Give me some more, Yediah, for the generals, please.
Khan, sir. Khan. According to an Instagram post from this Tuesday, Shante says her restaurant, Good Hot Chicken, was attacked by a group of racists who defaced it with a sticker after cutting the power.
Just like Esau. He don't smash the window. He cut the power. Yeah. The whole business.
Come.
And here's why it's so easy. Y'all want to jump?
No, please.
Y'all jump in anytime when y'all ready. But I just want to add something. That this is highly reminiscent of Nazi Germany.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Crystal Knot, when they went and smashed all the businesses of the so-called Jews and put them out of business, right or wrong?
Yes, sir.
This is the same thing. We in 2024. They supposed to get federal terrorism charges for doing this.
Mm-hmm.
Let's get some more. You got more on it?
Khan. Last Saturday around closing time, a group of racists were doing what they do best and decided to shut off the power to our dining room while our last guests were enjoying their dinner, Shante said. They ran away like cowards when confronted by a guest and employee, but not before outfitting our entrance with a disgusting sticker. An image of the sticker shows the phrase, "How to ruin a white city." At the bottom, along with a hand holding a can that says the N-word. On the cuff of the hand sleeve is a Jewish Star of David.
That's next level.
Yeah. Forget about it.
Are they saying you destroy a neighborhood with black Jews?
It could be.
You got they don't have an image of it by any chance? Because she's black.
That's Germany. That's what you just said. That's what was going on in Germany.
And now I never read the story.
Come.
Damn.
Where was this at in North Carolina? It say what city?
Marab might be able to find that picture that the Germans hung up in occupied France where they said, don't listen to jazz because jazz is, the Jews are black and jazz is black music. This is a famous picture that they hung up all over occupied France.
Deep.
It's an image, Mirage, so you know.
Go ahead. You got it. Well, thumb, I got it. Use the mic if you want to say something.
This mic. You better tell Mirage so everyone else can see it.
I'm trying to find the city, sir.
John. We get ready to go to North Carolina next 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Right? 2 weeks, we're going to be in North Carolina.
Come on.
I think I might go out to her restaurant. You know what I'm saying? I know that chicken got what she said. She said super. What was the name of the restaurant again? Super Bad Chicken or something.
They make good fried chicken in North Carolina.
They do. Good hot chicken. Let's get the address of Good Hot Chicken. I'm going to get me some chicken in North Carolina.
Right, Joe.
Just to back up your point, sir.
Please.
If Mirage shown it to everyone already, I'm not sure.
You get it yet, Monroe? You need a minute?
This picture is from the 40s or the 30s.
Okay, Asheville.
I know just what that said.
Sister said.
This picture was hung up. Marah can read the history on it. This picture was hung up in occupied France because, of course, many black people from America went down to France to play jazz music. Josephine Baker was a famous jazz musician from America that went and became famous in France.
That's right.
And this picture with the Germans, when they occupied France, put this picture up all over France. The bottom of it, the inscription says, 1 second. Intarte, meaning like this music is infidel music, right? And the bottom of it says it says that this 1 second. Von Strasse, that Strasse is black. Ein Archbeg, that's jazz, is black music. And that's the person that Dr. Ziegler is the person who is the minister of propaganda who put it out there.
Right. So he signed it basically.
And so if you look, you see is showing the picture again, please, Marah. It's a black person wearing a shield.
Wearing a shield.
That's right.
It is
saying that jazz is black. The Jews are black, and jazz is black music.
Damn.
So you shouldn't listen to it. Because Adolf Hitler, of course, knew that the Jews were black.
Give it up.
And now, 2024.
Come on.
With civil rights and Martin Luther King and all of the advancement we've made. Haven't we come a long way? We've come such a long way.
God.
Last week in Asheville, Tennessee, a black woman's power was cut off in her restaurant, and a star of David was put on her restaurant saying, "You're ruining this white neighborhood." That happened last Tuesday.
Somebody mapped the distance from Charlotte and Durham to this restaurant in Ashland.
Is it Asheville or
Asheville? I'm sorry, I keep saying Ashland. It's Asheville. I think it's spelled Asheville, but it's actually pronounced, I think, Asheville. I could be wrong. I'm going to get some of that. What's the name one more time? I want some of that good hot chicken.
Come on.
Yeah, man.
Come on. And if I could, sir, stories like this are so important with the Super Bowl, with the fall of black businesses, integration, and with the Black National Anthem. That was a giant story this week because every good-blooded American was offended that black people have their own national anthem.
Damn.
They were offended. Yedaya is going to bring it up. They were offended by it because they couldn't believe that we would have our own national anthem and not just accept the national anthem of everyone. And so stories like this might tell white people something that they don't want to face about themselves, okay? So this is an excellent story. You might have some more, Yedaya.
Yeah, it's close to Charlotte. It's very close to Charlotte. And it might be close, wait a minute, it might be very close to the South Carolina school.
It's familiar to me for some reason.
Yeah, because on my geography, I know that Asheville is like halfway to the school in South Carolina, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. Somebody check it up against the South Carolina. Yeah, what is that? Knoxville North? Yeah, that's right on the border, right? Let's see what, because it, huh?
South Carolina right here.
Yeah. Okay, it might. It might be north. No, it's northwest. Have to do it from Charlotte if we do it. We'll try to get out there and get some of that good hot chicken. All right.
You die.
Slogging.
Super Bowl Black National Anthem performance causes stir on social media.
This was a giant story, sir.
Have y'all heard it?
It's the Black National Anthem.
Yeah.
Forget about it. It's been around, I think, since the 80s.
Wow.
You start hearing the Black National Anthem highs, lift every voice and sing.
Yeah.
I want to say
80s.
it came out when they were trying to make Martin Luther King's birthday a holiday. And I want to say it came out in the 80s. They made, I'll give you the brothers,
Let's
give
rock
General Yohanna the history on the Black National Anthem.
The what?
This happened around, it might have happened, it might have been made during the Civil Rights Movement, but it
then-
became very popular in the 80s when they were trying to give Martin Luther King a national, to make his birthday a national holiday.
So they brought it in.
And the name of the song is Lift Every Voice and Sing. In black schools, you're taught to sing this song. I learned this in high school. It's the Black National Anthem. Most Judites know this song by heart.
Damn.
Right?
Okay.
Please, go ahead. 1871. That's during the into slavery.
Yeah, that's right after slavery.
Right, and then I believe it became very popular. Like I said, in the 1980s, the brother will bring it out. Right, it should be there in the story. Go ahead.
Conor Wakan, sir. Andre Day performed "Lift Every Voice and Sing," known as the Black National Anthem, ahead of the Super Bowl, and received a rousing ovation from the fans at the Allegiant Stadium. Day was tapped to sing the song last month as part of the NFL's pregame festivities. Additional Reba McEntire sang the national anthem, and Post Malone did "America the Beautiful."
So at the Super Bowl, sir, they had Post Malone doing "America the Beautiful." That's for the cracker. That's for the trailer park cracker. They had "Lift Every Voice and Sing." That's for black people. Then they had the national anthem, which is for the military. And just think, they gave everyone their own anthem. Trailer park white people had, you know, the
Post Malone.
Post Malone.
Oh,
who's
okay,
right.
Nasty,
drug addict, meth head.
Yeah.
They had the black national anthem, which is a black woman singing gospel music, lift every voice and sing. Then the Jets came out, and the flags and the Marines came out for the real national anthem. Everybody got their anthem at the Super Bowl. And of course, at the end of it, white people are angry at black people for not including themselves in the national anthem, for wanting their own anthem. Now, you heard when this song was first written. Right after the Civil War. It became popular during the Civil Rights Movement. Then became popular again when black people were fighting to try to get Martin Luther King's birthday a national holiday. Here's something that white people cannot accept. The reason that black people do not love the national anthem, do not feel patriotic to you, is because you don't accept black people.
Right.
And because you burn down our restaurants, turn the power off in our chicken places.
In 2024.
In 2024, black people don't feel connected to America. But it's not for lack of trying.
Right.
Black people would accept America tomorrow if you had any hospitality.
That's right.
If you had any sense of accepting black people, they would love the national anthem. But because you reject black people have no need but to make a black restaurant, a black national anthem, HBCUs. Black people didn't go to HBCUs for rejecting white schools.
Right.
White schools rejected black people.
Right.
And so because of that, they went to black schools.
They had to. They had to build them. They had to build them. The same time that song was made, black people had to build HBCUs or they would have had no higher education.
In the mind of racists, they think that black people have their own restaurant, their own schools, their own national anthem because they reject white culture.
Right.
It's like
it's like we the racists.
Yes, goddamn.
It's like they reject us. And because we don't grovel to be part, you the racist now.
Yes.
Right. When we're the ones rejected.
We're the ones rejected. And for the life of me, I don't get why they don't see. Black people don't have a national anthem because they don't want anything to do with the real national anthem.
I wish that was the real reason.
Wouldn't that be good?
I wish that could have been the reason.
That would be nice, right?
It would be wonderful.
The national anthem hates black people.
That's right.
Boom.
And so black people find a way to have their own thing because we're rejected by America. And it happened Tuesday in Asheville, North Carolina. We can't have a restaurant in your neighborhood. Another thing that's going to drive me out of my goddamn mind, if I could. Because I watched the tape you did, sir, about the immigrants. You were telling me this week about the immigrants and black people angry about the immigrants.
Right.
And how 50 Cent
and
all that. And this is driving me crazy on the same topic. Now black people are rejecting the Hispanics for coming into black neighborhoods and getting money in cities where black people are in great need of money. Now, sir, I've been in the truth since 1995. Been black my whole life. I have never been allowed to not like someone coming into a black neighborhood because of their race. Ever. Ever. My whole life, my mother, I went to a Korean store my entire life. One time, my mother got into a fight with a Korean coming out of the store for some stockings. Ask Captain Tower Wolf. He was in the car, a baby. My mother going to the Korean store She come out, the Korean is grabbing her, pulling her. And she's struggling with the Korean. Taiwan, little kid, I jump out the car and say, get your effing hands off my mom. And I cursed. And I said, ooh, right in front of her. I said, ooh, I shouldn't have cursed. I thought she might smack me then. Because I cursed. And the Korean let her go. I kept going to that store. Do you understand? I didn't stop going. What other store would I go to? I have never heard of Black people rejecting someone coming into their neighborhood because of their race. Have you ever heard of that?
No.
If you said it, you were racist.
That's right.
Black people accepted the Vietnamese, accepted the Koreans, accepted the Chinese. White people, you ain't even think you had an option. Now the Mexicans are coming. Now you don't let a race come into your neighborhood.
All of a sudden.
Now I can feel some sense of you're not a member of my race. We have never been allowed to say it. It was racist to reject an Arab store or a Korean store. Now that Hispanics are coming in, now we're saying this ain't right. Only Black people can be in this neighborhood. This has nothing to do with funds being given to Hispanics, because if Black people had any problem with that, there wouldn't be Chinese stores in our neighborhood. There wouldn't be Korean stores in our neighborhood.
That's right.
At all. This has to do with our people not being allowed to be strong.
Right.
And that's all it ever is about.
That's right.
We're not allowed to own a restaurant, to have our own songs, to have our own Negro leagues, like you used to always teach us about the Negro leagues. Now we're watching the NFL make $1 trillion.
Exactly.
With Black players, when at one time those players played for a Negro team.
That's right.
All the money went to a Negro owner.
All the vendors, all the
towel
boys,
everything. Now we have to watch someone else prosper because they don't want us to be strong. And that's the point of all of this. Salakia, sir.
Damn right.
Yeah, right. You know, you right. I remember it clicked me as you were saying it, because I knew my pop couldn't stand them damn Korean or them Oriental stores. He couldn't, because he was a Vietnam vet. So he did not like them for nothing. So when I go to the store, if I came back missing one penny, guess we had to go back to the store. My mom go get me my penny. And I had to make sure I counted all the change, but I kept going back to the same store.
Your dad hated him.
There was no other
going
store.
to the store.
Right.
Hate him or love him or whatever.
You're right. Give it up. Give it up again. I mean, that's unarguable. It didn't matter if you didn't like them. You had to accept them, or you basically was going to starve.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? And it's still that way now. What they call them food deserts, where they get rid of all the supermarkets. The only place there's food deserts at is among us. Everybody else don't have a food desert. Just us in every major city in the world. And what you saying, Ak, is so heavy. Like that is, you give it up one more time. That is so unifying. Like what you saying, Ak, is so. If brothers and sisters could get this, like we could become a real juggernaut, because what you just said right there is the psychological damage that happened to us that makes us reject our own brothers and sisters. And we brought the story out. The Ukrainians brought 30,000 into Chicago, but the only ones getting protests are the Latinos, who brought 19,000 in, because of course they made sure there wasn't going to be no white people standing on the corners begging for $1 in the middle of Southside Chicago.
That's right.
That was just not going to happen. But it was all right to do it to the Mexicans. It was all right to do it to the Venezuelans. It was all right. And that's why, once again, like faith, I know I've been on my little faith thing lately, and I know it sounded a little Christian-y, but I'm going to tell you straight up, the scriptures say, matter of fact, get this scripture for me, you die. The scripture said that Abraham obeyed the Most High, and it was counted for what? For righteousness.
That's right.
Read that scripture out, because let me tell you something. This is how our nation was built. Our nation wasn't built by some BS somebody fed us. Our nation was built by the actions the Lord told us to carry out. We carried them out, and we saw the results of those actions. And those results always panned out to be right before the Most High. That's why Paul said, we walk not by sight. You can't go by what somebody tell you. Even Christ said, Christ didn't say you will know them by what they say. He didn't say that. He said you're going to know them by their fruits. You're going to know them by their works. You understand? Like, you can't go by what they say. You got to go by what the Lord says, even if it looks wrong. If you could get that down, boy, you could change the world. UPK is doing it. Read it for him, Mark, please.
Honorable Khan, sir. The book of Genesis, chapter 15 and verse 6. And he believed in the Lord.
Go above it. Go above it.
Honorable Khan, sir. The book of Genesis, chapter 15 and verse 5. And he brought him forth abroad and said, look now towards heaven and tell the stars if thou be to number, if thou be able to number them.
He told him, Abraham, that. Now feel this for a minute. He already told Abraham, he was in the most powerful country in the world. Babylon at that time, when you go back and check the history, that was the most powerful country in the world. And the wisest men on the planet was the Chaldeans. They had libraries, whole libraries of stone tablets in Babylon, studying everything about life and nature and science and all the stuff they studied. And the Lord told him, reject all of that. Walk away from all of it. And he took him out in a separate place and said, now look at them stars. See if you can count them stars. Go ahead, break it down.
Honorable Khan, sir. And he said unto him, so shall thy seed be.
Now you out there, you ain't got no kids. You out there by yourself with the Most High. And he said, no, you better look at them stars up there. That's how big a nation I'm gonna make out of you. Brother, you got to believe in the Most High.
Yes.
Like that's real. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You got to look down the barrel of death and believe in the Most High, brother, and you will change the world.
That's
because
right.
as long as the Lord is with you, I don't care what the hell it look like, the Lord is with you.
Right.
You understand? Go ahead. Give me a little bit more.
Honorable Khan, verse 6. And he believed in the Lord.
He did what?
And he believed in the
He ain't
Lord.
see it. The Lord ain't show him. He ain't take a DNA test or, you know what I mean, or take a fertility drug. He believed in the Most High.
Right.
Them records we reading about that they shooting down and criticizing and coming up against us with and saying ain't real and plagiarized and too many copies, we gonna believe in it. We gonna believe in it. And if we do what? What's gonna happen? I'm gonna get up off it.
Honorable Khan, sir. And he counted it to him for righteousness.
The Most High counted it for righteousness. To believe on the Most High is to get counted for righteousness. And brother, that's what we should do. Because of course, like you brought out, if you listen to what they saying, you'll hate the Mexicans too.
Right.
You'll hate the Venezuelans too.
Right.
But if you believe in what Christ said, you will cut that demon off and you will love the Mexicans. You would love the Venezuela and you would see the results of it. You would see the Lord do what you never thought he could do before your eyes. Far as I'm concerned, I feel like a nutty nut because far as I'm concerned, as they come across this border, all I see is opportunity. All I see is soldiers, sisters. I see all that coming into the hands of the Lord. And brother, why would you reject that when Esau been on your neck for 400 years and he ain't never come up off your neck?
Nope.
So as it is this day, listen, while you rejecting, if I could, last point, while you rejecting the Venezuelans in the streets of Chicago, Joe Biden, vice president to your boy Obama from Chicago, is sending $118 billion to a war in Ukraine that they already basically lost. The Russians is bombing on them with drones and everything else. They found out they already planning to move Zelensky, the president, to Florida and give him Secret Service protection and get him up out of there. Because they done already, this was on the table. This is what they say. I don't know how true it is.
The Palestinian war started, the Ukraine lost.
That's right. That's right. There's more money in Gaza, in them oil wells and them gas pipes than it is in that wheat up there in Ukraine. So they said, look, catch y'all later. And then look at the interview with Zelensky. He's sitting in the room like he
showered.
He
showered in a couple of days.
You know what I mean? He in the room like, is y'all gonna give me a check or what y'all gonna do? And meanwhile, Biden like, well, we got to do this. This going on, and Congress is holding things up. And He giving them the dance. You know what I mean? It's a wrap. It's a wrap. Here's what's happening. They going in the Middle East and trying to take that land. They're gonna lose on that too because it's so biblical prophecy.
Yes, sir.
Brothers, we're in an amazing place, man. We should win all these brothers and sisters, man, and bring us ourselves back. 118 billion going to the Ukrainians. You arguing over a poor Venezuelan who trying to feed his family in the middle of winter. They ain't even used to the winter in Chicago. I can't even take Chicago in the winter.
Yeah, General, I know.
Imagine a Venezuelan ain't never even been in that kind of weather. Come on, man. You better wake up, man. We better wake up. Don't be going by what they say. Go by what these scriptures say, which is what we handing down to you, which is why now we know. Everybody's supposed to know why the Most High brought in the brothers and raised up the UPK the way he did. Now we know. Now we know because now we coming to that time. I'm gonna tell you something. Tell you confessions because I don't let everybody know all my personal business. You know, Muhammad was gonna be a football star. He was. No, he really was. He was a prodigy. He was getting ready to go to. He was on his way to go to NFL before he got ill. And he got ill and got put down for what, 2 years. And if you go back and if you ever want to see how bad Muhammad was, you go find that picture where we use it for the donations. You ever see that picture with me with the red robe on and the sister passing? Muhammad is standing behind me looking like a dead body. Back then, that was when he first came in. He was damn near like a dead body. That's after he had lost everything, his weight, his health, everything over a mistake, right? And then the Lord brought him back. This morning, I was sending up the prayer, and I said, Lord, thank you for never letting Muhammad get in the NFL. I watched them brothers running around in their underwear and getting praise, Salaki, and getting praise for being playing, you know, chasing down the pigskin, and they being honored and praised. And the women, what's the old white girl, the cheerleaders, the superstar girl is in the booth. Swift. Yeah, Taylor Swift. They in the booth. They going berserk. I thank the Lord he didn't make it. I thank the Lord he didn't make it because he didn't make it. The Lord, like Christ said, he said he gave it to the wise and prudent. He'd have been a big star up in there, had the uniform on. You understand? He'd have been wearing the underwear and all that. ass cheeks on national TV. Listen, let me tell you something. I'm watching. You know, I try to watch the game.
I know.
I was watching the game. I'm trying to be in the film. I said, I'm going to watch the game. The camera panned over during a tackle. And one player reached into the ass of another player and grabbed him by the tights. Slock it for the babies, yo. Grabbed him by the tights of his ass. I said, click. I said, click. I turned it off, went and made a salad. I said, I'm not doing this. Like, that's what the world loves. But we gonna go by this.
That's right.
And change the world because we go by it. You understand? I'm sorry.
You're right.
Yo, man. Come on, you finished the scripture? We done on that. So Abraham stuck, man. And we gonna stick. We gonna make it work. Go ahead,
Khan, do you want to transition into Alicia Keys and Usher?
Please. Let's do it.
Khan.
You good? You good? Khan? You good? Okay.
Good to go.
Khan,
the internet exploded when he did this.
Yes, he did.
Khan, sir. Khan. It says Swiss Beats reaction to wife Alicia Keys' flirty Super Bowl duet with Usher may surprise you.
Can you get a still shot? I don't know. Oh, well, some people playing the video, so I guess you good, right?
Is it?
Okay.
Be all right.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
The picture might be safer, of course.
Yeah.
Go ahead, you die.
Khan, sir. Alicia Keys' husband, Swiss Beats, has major thoughts on his wife's steamy Super Bowl performance with Usher. The music powerhouses joined forces during the halftime at the Chiefs and 49ers game in Las Vegas on Sunday, where they appeared very, very flirty on the stage during a duet of their 2004 song, My Boo. In an Instagram post Monday, Swizz raved about the production, all while telling people to focus more on more than just the singer's on-stage chemistry.
If I could, you watched it, sir.
Yeah, I saw that part. Yep.
And this said, I was just bringing out in the class also that Alicia Keys has HIV. That's not alleged. That's a fact.
I heard she was a heroin addict. Is that
well,
true? Her mother was
a heroin addict. Her mother gave her HIV
in birth.
Wow. Right? She was born with HIV. So she has a very serious and common problem that Black people have.
Right.
She was born during the time of the HIV epidemic.
Mm-hmm.
She was in New York. Her mother was an HIV drug user,
which was big in New York.
Oh my God. She was born with HIV. The brother can pull it up if you need to see it. And of course, Usher has herpes. This is not elite. He has herpes that he contracted from a man.
Come on, man.
I can't say herpes.
He gave it to them.
Ooh. He gave Salakia.
Listen.
He got sued because he gave a man herpes. The man sued him, took him to court under oath.
Can you say that?
Damn. Venereal diseases to a man. That's a fact. That's not alleged. That's in court documents. You can just Google that. That she has HIV. There's no fault of her own with her. And Usher gave a venereal disease to a man. Right? And of course, Puff Diddy, you know about him now, sir.
It's all coming out.
I remember Usher when he was a kid. Him and Puff Diddy was like this.
Yep.
He was always with that Puff Diddy. He was sitting on Puff Diddy's lap anytime you saw Puff Diddy. Everybody knows that Puff Daddy now is a deviant. Well, one of the reasons you know he's a deviant is because of his relationship with Usher. Now, of course, they're at the Super Bowl hugging and it looks all sexy and romantic. But these are two people with a lot of serious ghetto problems. Like a lot of problems that Black people know well that ain't sexy.
Them cursing.
It's the water. These problems they got, ain't nothing sexy about it. Ain't nothing sexy about HIV and herpes that you give to men.
No.
Those are real, straight up and down Black problems that you're actually seeing come together on that scene.
Yeah.
Put the scene up again. This is what you're seeing. A woman who's married, who has HIV from her mother, and a man who is bisexual. Can I say that? They cut me off. You died. I tried. That's my fault.
Listen, I'm gonna offend the band TikTok. I'm gonna Ray banning me. I'm gonna ban them.
The Chinese involved.
Sure.
That is the fact. And so as you see this, you might have a warm heart and you might go, oh, she's a woman out there getting sexy. Don't leave your girl around Usher. You know, you might think it's very sexy, but this is actually a very real, two people with very real Black problems. Salaki, you died.
No, listen. You gonna say something?
No,
like that. Like that's heavy business right there. You know what I mean? And let me tell you something else. What else is getting ready to be big for 2024? I tell you, 2024 is the year of the sisters, because also in 2024 is going to be the year of high morality for these sisters. Like once again, going back to the interview with Monique. Monique said she was in an interview and on DL Hughley's show, and they went and made a joke about her man having sex with another man. I'm not sure all the details, but it was like a joke. You know, like what would you prefer? You prefer this or you prefer that? And it was like some ratchet, thing. Her man sleeping with some ratchet something. And Monique shut it down. She said, we don't do that. This is a woman who admitted that she was a whore at one time. And for her to turn around and say, nah, we don't do that. We ain't doing that. Brother, that's the right spirit that the sisters should be going.
That's right.
Like that's where you got to go with it. Like, because you go there with it, now they gonna reject her, come up against her, but the Most High will honor it. Please.
Can I give you the other side? We've done shows right in here. And during this show, we did a few of them where some affluent, successful Black woman will come out and say that it's too hard for her.
Go ahead.
That it's too hard for her to find a man because there are no Black men in her in her price range, in
Right.
her what's the word for
economic status.
Economic status. We did a few stories about that.
Sure.
Where the woman will say, "Well, I'm a black woman. I'm a lawyer. I'm a journalist, and I can't find a black man that is in my economic level."
Right.
Gayle King just came out 2 weeks ago and said that she's single and she can be with a ton of meat on Gayle. I hate to bring that up.
But listen, she's so horrible. Thank you. Her own daughter is her daughter or her son. Her own child will not even speak to her. Her child went and got married and did not tell her.
Wow.
Forget about it.
I think it was her daughter, but I don't know if it's her daughter or her son. But she's such a monster, and I think it was her daughter. And here's the thing: now I don't know how true it is, of course, but they say she was angry because the daughter married a black man.
I believe that's to the point you make it, sir. In that
Exactly.
these women get so successful, so ambitious, so devoted to it, that they get so successful that they can't be with a black man.
Yep.
Now that's the other side of it. So in essence, you got black women going to college, sacrificing their children, sacrificing everything in life to get this career, that because they have it, it means they have to be alone forever.
That's right.
As opposed to Monique, who now got successful and has this man that she credits her success for.
Yeah.
That's the other. If you don't like what Monique is doing, do you like being alone forever?
Right.
Because you're so rich that you can't ever get a man?
That's right.
So in essence, with every degree, with every raise on your job, it's a level closer to loneliness. So the higher that you go, this means, well, I got my doctorate, that means I'll be alone. I got a law degree, that means I'll be alone. I made my first million, that means I'll be alone. Is that better? Is that better than getting successful and crediting a man for your success? How could that be worse?
Or at least sticking with him.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'll take that. I'll take, you're going to at least ride with this brother to the end. And let me tell you something, and these sisters who take this right spirit are now beginning to win.
That's it.
Yes.
Because biggies like her are now starting to come out with it. The one, what's the name of the sister that had the restaurant who asked her husband was a police officer, and she asked her husband to retire.
Oh, that was
She
good.
said she got it.
She
Listen, she got it.
black women,
Yeah.
black women rex for their guns.
Yes, they did.
They went for the Roscoe's behind it because she said, listen, the restaurant's successful. I'm worth good money. I want you to retire. I'm going to take care of you. What's her name?
Tabitha Brown.
Made the news.
Made the blew Twitter out the water.
Guess what else made the news? Some woman came up on the Breakfast Club and said that she would never marry a trash man. Remember, we did a story about it.
I remember.
Yeah.
Well, she said she can't be with no bus driver.
Right.
Oh, she's so rich that they asked her why she's single. She said, because I'm so rich, I can't be with a common working man. I can't be with a trash man or a bus driver.
There she go. That's
so
it.
I just got to be alone forever because I'm successful. Now imagine what success makes you alone.
That's right.
Success is supposed to mean you get what you want. Now success means I get a husband, I get kids, I get friends.
Yeah.
A black woman's success is like a sentence of eternal loneliness forever.
Right.
Because you're successful. That's the other side.
That's right. And let me tell you something. Them boys up in them churches that like all that sugar, they not fulfilling the bill no more.
Yep.
They was running with them for a minute, but the sugar bill, that sugar in that tank is just not, getting them where they need to get. So now they even more lonely, and it's a horrible shame, and it's not even necessary. It's not even necessary. It's taught behavior. I'm gonna hit you with something. You got to go look this up, y'all, when you get a chance. The brother that played Lamont on Sanford and Son, he did an interview recently. You saw it? It was a good interview. He says that the producer of that show, the Edomite, who was the producer of that show, also produced All in the Family. And he said that All in the Family and that show with with the Aunt Esther, the real rude black woman.
Yeah, Sanford and Son.
Yeah, on Sanford and Son, but the lady that would always argue with Red Fox.
Yeah.
He said that it was planned, that they did this to work with the women's movement to change how women think. Because remember, All in the Family, the wife was constantly coming up against the husband, Archie Bunker, who was supposed to be, and the young cat would always argue with him because it was like this cat was old school and racist and hard-headed. The whole purpose of the show was to break the women out from being under the men. And he said he said he had been doing that. And he says he believes that they knocked off I don't know how true it is, but he said he believes that they knocked off Kevin Samuels. He thinks they got rid of him simply because he was creating too much discussion between black men and black women. He said it's a whole Hollywood conspiracy type thing. That's what he said.
I got you.
That's what he put out. He said there's a whole thing going on in Hollywood where they turn into women against the men. And the UPK, we doing the opposite. It was they could have done this song so much more glorious with Alicia Keys and this brother had they done it honoring the sister and her husband. Like they could have done it way better and more honorable, and they could have taught other sisters, you understand, how tight they could be with their husband. They could have put like a lot of these black celebrities. And that's why I've always said, hold these cats accountable. Like celebrities should have to watch their mouth when they come to talking to black people. I don't give a damn how much money you got. You should have to watch your mouth. It should be a problem what you saying when you talking about us. You understand? You talking about us. You understand? Y'all get in a fight in a minute when somebody say something about you on social media, or somebody mistreats you in the street, or somebody talk to you any kind of way. Y'all mad as hell as celebrity. Well, watch your mouth when you talking about us as a people. Watch your mouth when you talking about how we supposed to live. And watch how you operate and act among us. You understand? We struggling trying to build families. We struggling trying to keep brothers and sisters together. You get up on national TV and play the whore, and then we set back. We got to set back. You understand? Right now, they said when Beyonce, at the end of the Super Bowl, Beyonce dropped her new album or her new song. They said that she out-trended the Super Bowl. At the end of the Super Bowl wasn't even over. She dropped her album, out-trended the Super Bowl. Women was already on the phones calling their girlfriends up. Yo, get your money ready. We're going to see Beyonce when the new album come out, probably in the summer, blah, blah, blah. Now, what happens if she get on that stage and teach every young girl how to be a whore? What happens then? And that's why I don't respect these little drug dealer entertainment superstars that Esau made superstars out of. I don't respect you, man. I don't respect you until you step up, recognize what you did, apologize to the black and Latino community for what evil you did over the years, and then begin to repent and rebuild. That's why Christ said to repent and to confess your sins. I ain't saying confess your sins and get locked up, but confess them in general and then turn around and begin to fix what you tore up. This is the time to fix our people, man. We ain't fixing us now. This is what it is. You can get down or you can get the hell out the way, but you're not going to be fronting in the black community, pushing some poison in a different way. And here's the thing, like Monique and others brought out, they robbing all of you in there. They said Monique, that show Monique did with the young girl, played her mother.
I remember.
They said that show is on syndication right now all over the world. They bringing in millions. She don't get it down. She was the star of the show. She ain't getting no money off of that show. Millions coming in all over the world, translated in other countries, all of that. And she ain't getting no money. And that show been off the air, what, 20 years?
Yeah, a long time.
Over 20 years. You know how much money she's supposed to have? She's supposed to have millions and millions and millions of dollars. And they robbing everybody. Taraji P. robbed her. Who else? A ton of them recently came out and was saying how these people are robbing hell. So why are you trying to push their agenda? Why are you letting their agenda be pushed when it's not being pushed on them?
Right.
It's not being pushed on them. A lot of you reject the UPK, but they say they are chosen people. We say we the chosen people. They say that we should, they separate their kids into them yeshivas. We say we should separate from the other nation. What's the difference? Why we get called a racist, but they don't get called a racist?
Right.
They building right now in Israel, they're saying there is no Palestinians. That's what they're saying right now on the street. You can hear it on the news. Yeah. They saying there is no Palestinians. There is no Palestinian states. The reporters coming up to them and saying, well, how do you feel about what has happened with the Palestinians? He said, well, they said, well, I'm just going to let that slide because there are no Palestinian people. There's no such thing as that, but I'm going to leave that alone and I'm going to answer your question. So they building a empire that is totally filled with apartheid. And they're not just rejecting the so-called Arabs. Y'all saw the tapes where they rioted in the streets on the Africans. Did y'all see those?
Yes, sir.
Now remember they imported all them Ethiopians who thought they was the chosen people and went over there, joined their military, got in all their civil service jobs, integrated into their society, and now they running up on them. I mean, dragging them out their cars, beating them up, their women, their chills. Come on, you die. I know you saw it. Come on with it.
If I may, sir, the one thing, what you bringing out, sir, is so heavy. I'm still not over the tunnels in Brooklyn.
Shit. Forgot about that already. Like, ain't nobody questioning them, ain't nobody calling them out on it. Well, guess what? We're going to call our people out on it and make sure that you reject what it is that they are pushing on us because you are damaging us. You understand? Some of you Hollywood stars, you get up on the news and get up on these shows and say, I don't know what's wrong with the young people today. They just not this and they just not. What's wrong with the young people is they listening to your dumb ass. Yeah. You the one sitting up there teaching them to do everything wrong. And we up here fighting and struggling to try to unravel the brainwashing you feeding down their throat. Right. And since you a selfish pig and you come from a selfish pig way of life, you don't have no kind of moral on what it is that you do in the first damn place. Right. Well, it's time to get some of that, man. That's right. Time to get some of that back, and it's time to allow us to fix us. Swiss Beats should have never made that statement. And Alicia Keys should have never let that brother grab all up on him, just like he did over there on with the Keke Palmer one. And once again, there's some producer in the background who trying to revive this brother's career, trying to bring his career back and make more money off of him, like you do a race dog or like you do a good race horse. Give him a little steroids, put his ass back out there and see if you get a few more years out of him. You understand? That's what they doing to him. And so, of course, he going to do whatever the slave master tell him and turn around and abuse any sister that get up in front of him to make his career look right. We got families to build, man, and it ain't easy in the hood. Y'all can't do it and you're rich. You fighting and going to court and having divorces and running each other over with the car, and y'all got millions. How much harder it is for these brothers and sisters that's out here. And something you always bring out behind me, like, don't nobody think of the kids first.
Nope.
You get in a marriage, what about these kids? Like, you shouldn't even go into a marriage unless you focusing on the kids first. What is you even getting married for or getting involved for if you're not focusing on these kids? If you ain't saying before the kid even born, the marriage is supposed to be planned out with the kids in mind. Am I wrong?
No, you're right, General.
That's how you supposed to plan it out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, okay, I'm going to get with this sister now. How many kids we gonna have? Where we gonna live? How we gonna pay for these kids? What's our path? What's our game? How we doing this?
That's right.
You're supposed to have that in mind.
Yeah.
And you're supposed to do it according to the scriptures. Instead, you get up on the Super Bowl before the world and shame yourself in like a in that kind of manner. And Alicia Keys had a great reputation as a pianist, as a musician. Forget about it. Usher he ain't no slouch either. He came out on that halftime show with roller skates on. I said, damn, this ain't no young boy. He out there performing. Right. But just because you have them skills to perform, it doesn't mean you have the right to disrespect and trash our nation. Just the same way them sisters fight. That sister and brothers fought to have a black national anthem. We should fight for more than just a black national anthem. We should fight for black morality. Yeah. We should fight for black families. Yeah. We should fight for raising our own black children. Yeah. Black businesses. I can go on and on and on. I'm going to get up off of it. But that's what we should be doing. You know what I'm saying?
If I could, sir.
No, go ahead.
You go ahead.
Go ahead.
If I could, sir. And if this is too controversial for you, don't worry, because in a few years, if not by next year, there won't be any black people performing at the Super Bowl. There won't be a black national anthem. The only reason they even have a black national anthem or having black performers is a trade-off for black people not kneeling at football games.
Yep.
That's all.
Yep.
This is all happening because you were complaining about being unalived by the cops. You were complaining. Jay-Z sold black people to the NFL.
Yeah.
He said he'll tell black people to stop kneeling if you sing the black national anthem and let some black performers perform at the Super Bowl. Jay-Z is the one that hired Usher. Usher said it. Jay-Z is the one that called him and said, you're performing at the Super Bowl. Because of the backlash about the black national anthem, in a year or two, there'll be no more black national anthem. All of these stories are going to be the reason that they say, instead, we don't want to divide our country anymore. We did that for a few years to have a time of healing.
Yeah.
Now that we've healed, we're going to just have the one national anthem, jets flying over high, God bless America, and that'll be that. This will end in a minute. I think Justin Bieber is doing it next year.
Good.
If that's the case, it's already over.
Yeah.
Jay-Z did not hire Justin Bieber.
No, he didn't.
So if that happens, it's about to end. So you won't have to worry about what black people do at the Super Bowl anymore. It'll be over. They'll be playing football and getting their necks broke.
Cut on. Jim, I know I was talking to this guy yesterday, and he said he was a manager at the Burger King on Wayne and Shelf, right? In Germantown, right? He told me that store make about $2.5 million a year. That is Wayne and Shelton. Everybody know about Philly. Wayne and Shelton, that is the epitome of the hood. Who he said the other day, his store made about, how many thousands he made? I want to say it was like almost 50,000, something like that there. A lot of money off that store in one day. And I said, are you kidding me? Burger King? It was Burger King, General. I said, Burger King? He said, yeah, 2.5 million a year. I said, you got to be kidding me, man. You know what I mean? Like, they come in there and rape and pillage us, and nobody says nothing, man. They get all that money. And you know how many black businesses used to be up in Wayne and Shelton, that whole area down there, Germantown, all the area, used to be flourishing with black people, black businesses. Now you can't even get a good sister to cook some good food no more. Like, but Commander GEN.YAHANNA and GEN.YAHANNA bringing out to you is this here. Now is the time for us to come back together as a family as well. And these sisters got to get back up here and know how to take care of their families the right way. You know what I mean? He said everybody there buying fast food. He said it's such slave labor because if they buy the 2 for $5s and not the number 4s, that means he can't have a certain amount of people in the store working with him. He got cut staff. And he been there back there hustling his butt off because he's short staffed, but they buying 2 for $5 bills instead of a number 4 or number 6. I said, wow, like our oppressor got it down pat. You know what I mean? They did it when they destroyed us and they got together with them different programs to wipe the family structure that we had out. They did all that right there. Now we got Burger King making $2.5 million a year. What about them black businesses that had restaurants and foods and everything? Like in North Carolina, sister got a business, they go shut her stuff off. You know what I mean? Come on, man. Like, this is ridiculous what we dealing with out here.
Damn right house.
That's right.
He died.
Colonel McCon, sir. 2 injured, including a child. Armed female suspect killed in Houston church shooting.
I mean, I'm sorry. I thought Joel Osteen was a prophet of God. I thought Jesus was with him. Okay? They up in there like Rambo up in there. And I saw a tape where somebody was in a bathroom or something. And brother, she was letting off in that church house. She had, I don't know what she had. It was either 308 or higher. Because whatever she was thumping with, it was thumping through that big.
She had a rifle, Jenna?
She had a rifle. And it wasn't just like no AR-15. As far as I could tell, it sounded like a 308 or higher. Because it was dum, dum, dum. I mean, it had bass in it. It was coming across that arena, brother, with bass in it. Boom, 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 boom. It was bouncing. It was bouncing. They was ducking and hiding. She was lighting it up. wrong. It could be an AR. It hit like something heavier. It hit like a hunting rifle or something heavier up in there.
And AR-15 don't make them thumb sounds. You know what I mean?
Right.
She could have had an AK.
She could have.
With an AK?
I don't think so.
They said it was some type of AR-15. That's
It
what
was
they said.
the AR platform probably, but it
Exactly.
was. But she probably had something, some weight behind that bullet because it was the way it sounded anyway. Now it could have been echoing, but it had some bass in it when she was clapping.
A lot of new rappers now got the AR platform, like the AK got the AR
Right.
platform, the 308 got the AR platform, along with the AR-15 with the 5.56 and 223. So they got a lot of them, and you got a 300 blackout that got an AR platform too as well.
It might have been a 300 blackout.
Yeah, they got a lot of them with them platforms of the AR-15. You know what I mean? So she could have anything in there, along with that 308, like how you were saying, sir.
Yeah, whatever she had up in there, brother, it was banging like a thumper. And here's a beautiful. I don't want to say beautiful, but here's what's righteous on it. What's righteous on it in this respect is that it's the Lord revealing the truth about these people.
Yes.
Like these people raised millions of dollars. Now, where is that church at?
Houston.
It's in Houston. Okay, like millions and millions of dollars. Okay, gone into those churches, and many black people supported that church and support that church. And he's the same church. People was in that storm. When black people was in that storm, they the ones that went and shut black people down.
Yeah,
and would not let them inside that arena.
Yep.
Well, now that arena, you understand. It's a lock, y'all, and and now the Lord let them inside that arena and shoot up that place. And they said it was a beef over the it was like a beef. The so-called Jew was going with her. She was a Latino, according to Esau, and she was going with a so-called Jew, and they was fighting over the custody of that kid. Yeah, and them cops shot her and shot the kid. That's right. You know what I mean? Like so much for God's wisdom and understanding from Joel Osteen.
So I think they said that she might have been an alphabet letter.
Because they said that sometimes she went by a man's name.
That's something else they don't talk about enough. If you have a mental disorder, they're almost always an alphabet letter. Like it almost is a symptom.
Yeah.
Of schizophrenia, bipolar disorder. They absolutely identify as other lifestyles. It's just it comes with they're homeless, they're on drugs. They identify as other lifestyles. It just goes with the illness, with mental illness.
With the mental illness whole state. Yeah. Well, they said that she had like 2 different male aliases. Sometimes she would feel like a nut. Sometimes she didn't.
Sometimes she did.
and went up there. And listen, that's a lesson for all of y'all.
Yeah.
To get out these churches, man, quickly. Because you playing with the Lord in an arena that's just about for money and lust and every evil act. These churches are struggling to have people in it. They said after TD Jake's tape came out about being swallowed, TD Jake, they said the church is empty. 25,000 person arena. He lucky if he get 1,000. Only the most faithful. The ones he swallowed. Salad. Yeah. You got the babies in the building. Salad. That's the ones that's sticking with him. And listen, I don't have no sympathy because the destruction that has been done in the black community by what is going on in these religious institutions. These religious institutions, black churches today are basically LGBTQ headquarters. They feel there's more LGBTQ in many of these churches than there are people that are not LGBTQ. There's many of them. Some of them, they've saturated it. They're totally saturated with them. It's gone since the days of McClurkin. It's gone berserk. You're rare to find a sodomite who does not go to church. It's rare. It's rare that you find one that doesn't. They all go to church.
Yep.
They filling the churches up. They flooding the churches up. You understand? And I ain't gonna be surprised if it comes out later on that the whole reason that she has 2 male aliases is because of some kind of deviance that went on in that place.
Yeah.
That's a horrible place. And listen, the time, again, last point, the time for them to totally have shown that they were the people of the Lord was when that hurricane hit Houston.
Yep.
Tell me if I'm wrong.
Yeah.
That was the time.
So remember the time that they by accident found $300,000 on the wall?
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
It was just it was
I
like
forgot about
by
that.
mistake.
Yeah. In he had a temple. He had a temple like behind the church.
Yeah.
Like a little special temple. But that special temple was really to launder the money in the wall. The temple was built on dollars. Like the insulation was dollars.
Yeah.
You know, man, I know it was warm as hell in there. He had plenty of cash in the walls.
Damn right.
I mean, he was operating that thing like a cartel.
Yeah.
Like and meanwhile, our people are struggling. We pouring our money in there and struggling to find God, struggling to try to figure out which way is the right way of life, struggling to be functional day to day, struggling to relieve the stress that has us turning to drugs and everything else. I mean, just in a whole world of stress and struggle and falling apart while they sit up in there and just pile cash up while lying to you and you believe what they saying. And let me tell you something else too, man. Thank God that he is pushing men back into the forefront, because men are not going to stand right. Because the only reason the Christian church institution even functions is because they were able to push men out. Black men are not going to have their wife sitting in some institution with a bunch of sodomites dancing and singing and pretending to be them. They're not going to do that. Ain't no man in his right mind going to say, yo, that's fine. I accept that. He's going to take that. He's going to tell her, you got to come out of here. Because he's not going to be fooled. You'll be fooled by all the glitter and all the singing and all the silliness that goes on and all the cross-dressing and all of that. You'll be fooled by that. But them brothers not going to be fooled by it. They're going to look at it for what it is, an abomination.
Yeah.
And they're going to come out there. And it's the pinnacle of our troubles. Let me tell you something. It's on the top of the list. It's above drug dealing. It's above gang banging. It's above everything else. Is this institution that is harming. And this institution is far into the government more than you know.
Yep.
Like that's why Obama had to go to that Jeremiah Wright church, because you had to get in the right political circles in the churches for you to get the position that you wanted to get. You can't get up there in them high positions and you ain't accepting them different little churches. No, you're not gonna get away with that. Because they running it like a damn cartel. It's time for all of that to go away.
Yeah.
That's why what the brothers is doing on these streets, you're gonna be hated. You're gonna be hated, but that's all right. March on into the battle.
Yeah.
Because the battle belongs to Yahawashi. And that king, don't nobody strategize better than him.
Yeah.
Don't nobody know how to navigate through some BS better than him.
Yeah.
And them brothers did it back then, and it's gonna be done again. It was done during the time of Moses. It was done during the time of Yahawashi. It's gonna be done again. You understand? It's gonna be done again.
John, that's heavy you say that, because I remember growing up, like my mom was a woman who loved to go to church, right? And something happened at one church we was going to. My pop said, that's enough of this. He said, I remember them talking, and they was talking. He said, all right, enough of this SHIT. We ain't going back there. Ain't no more church no more. And from the time I must have been about 15, I've never, ever set foot in the church again with my parents. My pop was like, that's it. There was no more. Like that type of brother need to come back, and it's only coming back here in I.S.U.P.K. Because all the other men now are letting them do what they want to do, especially in these churches. You understand? Like in this school here, you have men now who are now standing on principles and seeing the lies, like how you said in that church, and now not letting that stuff incorporate into their family. And they stopping it. You understand what I'm saying, sir? If I could, can I get Jeremiah 23:1, you dying? Because the Lord prophesied about this happening to you cats, man. All the evil y'all have done, all the lies that y'all have done, the Lord said, woe unto you, man. That word of woe means destruction. And you're seeing it happening right now, man. You understand? You see it happening right now. Give me Jeremiah 23:1 real fast.
Put that picture up there. No, please. Go ahead.
Come
I just
on,
want
come.
them to see that picture.
Yeah, and these your pastors right here. These the ones here, man.
You know what I mean? Jeremiah 23:1. You got it?
Go, sir.
Read.
Jeremiah chapter 23 and verse 1.
Go ahead.
Whoa.
Say it again.
Whoa.
The word woe means destruction. You understand? All y'all put y'all faith in them right there, and ones like that there, the Lord saying what?
Whoa.
Go ahead.
Be unto the pastors
that
destroy and scatter the sheep of my pasture.
You see that, man? They are destroying black people, Hispanic, Native Indians, man. You understand? They are destroying them. You understand? That's what's going on. They destroying them. You understand me? That's what's going on. They telling you now, the philosophy and doctrine they got, look at all of them right there, hugging and loving and praying for Donald Trump. You understand? Where in the Bible does the Bible tell you to do that? You are scattering the sheep of the Lord. Read verse 2, brother.
Khan, sir. Saith the Lord. Therefore, thus saith the Lord God of Israel against the pastors that feed my people. Ye have scattered my flock and driven them away and have not visited them.
Man, you have scattered the lowest 12 tribes, man. Like how Commander GEN.YAHANNA brought out. They had that flood down there in Houston, and Joel Osteen had that big old place and did not open them doors for nobody. He let black, Hispanic, Native Indians suffer out there in that storm on them bridges. Some drowned and died. He didn't care. He wanted to protect his place. Go ahead. Then T.D. Jakes lied to you about whatever's going on with him. All the lies, evil going on with him. And the Lord revealed him too. Now his church is getting empty as well. Go ahead.
It's so righteous.
Yes, it is, gentlemen.
It's glorious.
Yes, it is, sir. Go ahead, brother.
Khan, behold, I will visit upon you the evil of your doings, saith the Lord.
He will visit upon you the evil of your domain. Listen, the Lord gonna come see you for what you did. Because you ain't tend to black people, Hispanic, Native Indians, who are the flock of the Lord, who are the sheep, they the 12 tribes nation of Israel. Because of that, the Lord gonna come see you, and he looking at you right now. You know how the Lord gonna come see you? You better ask T.D. Jakes. What's the other cat? What's the other cat name that was down in Atlanta? What is his name? He had on purple too.
Eddie Long.
You better go. You can't ask Eddie Long no more. He ain't here no more. Can't ask him. He came and saw him as well. Ask Joel Osteen. He came and visited him just 2 days ago. The Lord gonna come see you for your evil of what you're doing among black, Hispanic, and Native Indians, man. And it ain't gonna be nice. He gonna shut you down like how it's supposed to be. Woe unto you evil pastors, man. That's just like.
I just want to, damn right, give it up. Damn right. I just wanted to bring out Azen Moritz said, said they members of Osteen's church paid that $100 million mortgage off. Osteen real happy right now. Like that's how they getting down with money that should be going to the work of the Lord.
Yes, sir.
Like that's why them cities is destroyed. That's why they shooting up Houston like madness. You
Yes,
destroy those funds are supposed to help try to build the economic structure and the help that people need. That's the whole point of it. But instead, hundreds of millions of dollars go in the pockets of these people, and they cut off the rest of the people, and they destroy the ability of the people to go forward. That's not how it's supposed to be, and because of it, we suffer. But that's okay, because it's coming forward. It's going exactly both in the Middle East and in the United States. Every prophecy is riding right like it's supposed to. Nothing is flowing out of nothing is like, what's that? Everything is like an open book, is going in the direction it is, and more to come in 2024. Like the people who have no compassion, like Oprah Winfrey. You see how Oprah Winfrey turned around and had no compassion on them Hawaiians when they went up there, when they had that fire up there.
Oh yeah.
She came out there with milk and cookies, and meanwhile she bought up 2 million acres of their land, or some crazy 2,000 acres or something of their Hawaiian land. They cursed her the hell out. Her and the Rock came down like with a pledge, and they cursed them the hell out, and rightfully so. And that's what's getting ready to happen. You was gonna say something, and that's what's getting ready to happen in this kingdom. I don't want to drag on with it, but be good riddance. I hope they never go back in that church again. I hope every black and Latino never go back in that building again and go and really build something righteous for the Most High. Yeah, man.
Can I say one thing, sir?
Please.
Clap it up for him, sir.
Damn right. Damn right.
And you better face something out there, blacks and Latinos. You can't afford to go to church anymore, man. Church is just too damn expensive. You cannot afford to go there and to learn nothing and to spend all your time trying to forgive your pastor for the sins he commits.
That's
Who
right.
has money for that? Who has money to give up to be in a $100 line, the $5,000 line they got in these churches?
Yep.
And you're going to spend most of your time trying to forgive your pastor for his sins.
Right.
For the sins he commits. You don't have enough money for all of that. And here's the sad truth of it. Organizations like churches, synagogues, and mosque holidays, they have to lose so black people can win. They have to lose. Churches have to fall so that black communities can have more money. Holidays, department stores, Macy's, Walmart, whatever.
All of it got to lose.
All of it. They have to lose money so that black people can get money. Can I show you something to prove the point?
Please.
If I could, sir.
Please.
There is no way for all of us to succeed at the same time. Either black people lose or our oppressor loses. Let me show you something, sir, to make you go crazy.
Please.
Speaking of the halftime show, here's the perfect example of why we fail, they succeed. Because there's always some traitor that cares more about their own success than all of our success, so that our oppressor gets rich, we get nothing. Check this out, sir. Sound, please. We just did a show about the halftime show, right? Well, I went and researched the history of the NFL halftime show, which by now has made trillions of dollars. And I'm not lowballing that.
No, not at all.
That's trillions of dollars. This is where it started from.
Not this brother.
Yeah. This
Damn.
brother. We don't have a sound. I'll break it down for, but we can't play it, all right? This is like 1990.
Cast and even put on some of the biggest.
Start from the beginning, please.
Did you know this? Keenan Ivory Wayans is the reason why the NFL put so much money and time into their Super Bowl halftime show. In the late 80s and early 90s, he had a show called In Living Color. It featured a diverse cast and even put on some of the biggest names that we know today, like Jennifer Lopez, Jamie Foxx, and even Jim Carrey. Prior to 1993, the Super Bowl halftime show wasn't what we know it to be today. It wasn't full of star-studded performances and celebrity pageantry. It usually was just ads, a break, or coming attractions for a specific event. And in 1992, it was no different. They showed an ice skating competition during the Super Bowl halftime show. Knowing this information, Keenan Ivory Wayans and the executives at Fox came up with the idea to air a live broadcast of In Living Color to try to take away some of the viewership from the Super Bowl. And it didn't just work, it worked really well. Out of the Super Bowl 79.5 million person viewership, In Living Color took 11% of it. And a lot of those people...
This is how it started. Before 1992, the halftime show was a skating thing. It was news.
Right.
It was a coach talking about football plays.
Right.
The Super Bowl had 78 million people watching. Keenan Ivory Williams said, well, since they're showing nothing for 15 minutes, he put In Living Color on another channel and said, listen, come watch us for the 15 minutes that they're taking a break. We'll tell you when the game comes back on. We're going to play it on here. He went and performed, had Jennifer Lopez, Jim Carrey, big stars, and got 11% of 78 million people. How much is that? Who knows math? Sir, I know you know math.
That's some numbers.
Good gracious,
it's
man.
It's a lot of money.
That's a lot of money.
10% is 78 million. Wow. That's 10%.
That's what happened.
No, wait. How much was it all?
78 point something million.
Okay.
What's 11% of that?
11% of that. Somebody got
10%, I'll take. 8 million people watched that 15 minutes.
Damn.
And then he said, all right, y'all, the game is about to come on. Go turn back to the Super Bowl.
Damn.
Keep playing it.
That's crazy.
Didn't tune back into the Super Bowl. The NFL got wind of this. They weren't too happy. And the next year, they spent $1 million and booked Michael Jackson.
Stop. The next year. That's when Michael Jackson took all of the money that Keenan Ivory Williams, a black show, could have made and gave it to the NFL. And now all of us only watch the NFL. Black people lost. Now, Michael Jackson could have said, no, NFL.
Right.
I'm going on In Living Color next year. And then we would have had an industry called the halftime show.
Yeah.
But instead, they went and hired Michael Jackson. Keenan Ivory Williams got nothing from it. Not a penny. The next year, after that, Michael Jackson, Prince, Jennifer Lopez, and Don't Leave Your Girl Around Usher. This year. And it all came from this cat who got nothing. And it ended because a black man decided to end it. Why did the Colin Kaepernick protest end? Because a black man decided to end it. Decided we're not going to have this anymore. We all follow him. This is why we don't have things.
That's crazy.
This is why Joel Osteen has that church. Because we can't have a community with stores and businesses. We have to give our money to Joel Osteen, who puts it in the wall of the church and literally forgot it was there. Literally forgot it was in the wall of the church. And now we have no schools and we don't have money to give our brothers, the Mexicans, when they come over here. Joel Osteen has $300,000 in the wall of a church that he forgot was there. Either they lose or we do. And that's what you taught us. It's something that was so simple when I first came into the truth. Either they have a brilliant Christmas or black people have money in their homes.
That's right. That's the trade-off.
That's just it. And it's just no other way. That's just it. Either you want the NFL to have the most glorious halftimes and to make trillions of dollars, or you want your people to prosper.
Right.
That's your choice. I've made my choice.
Damn right.
Damn right.
Damn right.
And if I could just add to you, and the only way to make that choice is to choose what the Lord wants. He wants his people to prosper. So you're going to have to reject them to get his people what they need. It's simple. It's a simple mathematical equation. Also, somebody got kicked out of here, but what I wanted to answer them with is El Paso, Texas, man. There's a badass young officer right down in that area named Dawada. Officer Dawada, brother, out of the Texas camp. Okay, so you don't know where we at. We everywhere. Everywhere is where the hell we are. You understand? That's where we are. And if I could, I looked at that Joel. Give me a picture of that Joel Osteen church. Let me get a picture of that cesspool. And he seems like he's LGBTQ anyway. He sure acts.
He's definitely weird
little funny looking dude. You know what I mean? Let me just get a picture of the arena where they shot up at. Look at that arena.
I've never even seen that before.
Look at the size of that thing. Look at the size of that arena. Now, when I go back to it, there it is. Put that one up for him. Now, when I see that, brother, I think about how many beds could have been in there.
Yeah.
You take them pews out.
Yeah.
How many beds could you fit in that building to feed blacks and Latino? For you to how many beds could you get in there for the Venezuelans? And they acting like it's such a struggle. Oh, they on the streets. No. They getting food stamp cards. Oh, no. They this and this. And meanwhile, you don't go to no preacher and say, yo, what the hell y'all doing in there? We've been paying y'all money for 20 years. The people's out on the street starving. What are you doing? You know what I mean? You don't hold them accountable. You hold us accountable for checking you about what they're doing.
Yep.
And you hold us accountable because we come out and correct the evil that they're doing. But you don't never hold them accountable. I'm praying for the day you hold them accountable and make them do what they're supposed to do. Look at that building, man. The people of Houston were being flooded. Black women, I'll never, ever, as long as I live. I remember this every time I go to Houston, brother. And this thing burns me up inside like I can't even explain. It was flooding in Houston, Texas. Black women were on the roof of their houses with their babies. And white men who had boats, who were the only ones with boats, was rowing up to these houses and telling these black women, show me something. And black women had to pull their shirts up with their babies right next to them and show this greasy bastard their breast just for them to get rescued off of the top of their houses. And then when they got off of the top of the houses, this bastard put chains on his doors so that they could not go inside that shelter. And you wondering what we mad about? Why the hell you are not mad? Why aren't you angry that you made this man so rich and all he did was poison you and turn his back on you? And that's why you better raise up black men. You better stop listening to the propaganda about hating them so much and how evil they are, because they're going to be the one to come in those boats.
That's right.
I remember when it happened, when Captain Kahuntham Yard, he called me up. Remember that? He said, General, we ready. We going out, we picking up the boats right now. He went into full action to help black people he did not know. We were fine. The UPK was good. We took care of everybody.
That's right.
We were solid as a rock. But he grabbed the brothers together in the dark now, to take boats out into uncharted waters, into these cities, and to go get these people out of these buildings and save their lives. That's what Captain Kahuntham Yard did. But you made damn right. But you made these people rich. And that's why they were such an enemy to Christ. That's why Christ stood out on that street and they sent them down to the street to come up against the king and to fight the king and to try to make what he was teaching a lie and to reject him. And that's exactly what they do every day in this place.
Right.
And brother, you should reject it. And brother, you should get your woman out that church. You got a woman that go to church, be relentless. Do not let that woman start having church services in your house. Do not let that woman bring church music in your house. Do not let a woman come in there and disrupt your house. Scripture says it's better you dwell on a rooftop than y'all know the scripture. You understand?
Yeah, right,
like, don't do it, man. Like, reject it like for what it really is. Reject it for the disgust, because some of you black women, you about dumb as the bottom of my shoe. You so dumb, some of you. You sitting up there in the church that's you watching men lose their manhood and put jerry curls in their hair right in front of your eyes. You're watching and hearing stories about children being molested. You're watching, you got full-fledged braids wearing, gold chain carrying, wife beater t-shirt bull daggers. Can I say that? No. Salakia. We already got kicked off of there anyway. Salakia, the lie, they ended the live. So you understand? They sitting up there in the middle of those arenas, you understand, and pushing the most horrible ideas and thoughts that's against the Lord on our people, and you sitting up there like you can't see what the hell is going on, and then you go in there and you join them, man. You join them. I reject Christianity outright, man. It is the evilest Babylonian witchcraft holiday, and it has nothing to do with Christ. It has nothing to do with the Bible, and it has nothing to do with the future. All them lies they told you before the pandemic. God gonna bless you. He got a house waiting for you. Or God gonna bless you with this, or you got a blessing coming. All that was a lie, because the pandemic came and half your family dropped dead. So where was all the blessing that he was claiming that they were claiming was coming your way? The worst thing, the second worst thing that could ever happen to us is to take on the religion of Christianity. The first thing is to go into captivity. The second thing is to take on the religion of Christianity. The third is the drugs. That's a triple play. Put them in slavery, poison them with fake philosophy about God, dope them up so they can't resist you. You got perfect slaves after that. And you spent 400 years on the most beautiful planet in the universe. You spent 400 years on a perfect ecosystem of a planet. You spent 400 years in chains. On a planet where the animals run free. The animals run free. Animals run free and get provided food and water. Have their babies in the open field like they in heaven. You in chains for 400 years. A planet which runs wonderfully. Runs like, you built it at IBM. Clouds come up, sun come up, moon come up, rain come, crops grow. Run like an IBM computer, better than an IBM computer. Is the way this planet runs. And instead, you are put in chains for 400 years. The worst thing could ever happen to somebody. Slap this Christianity on top of it, and then dope them up, and you got a perfect, you just wiped the nation out off of this planet. And brother, that is not acceptable.
That's right.
And this church has got to be stopped. You know what I mean? The Africans want to join the church, let them. Let them. East Indians want to join the church. The Arabs now trying to convert so that the Esau stop dropping bombs on their head. Let them. Let them. But let our people come the hell out of that madness. Right. Because it's an evil, evil place. And nobody was willing to say it. Salak, I'm coming off. Nobody was willing to say it but us. It was a time you couldn't even talk about church as bad. And when we started talking about, all of a sudden the stories start coming out. And they still coming out. T.D. Jakes, Eddie Long, the rest of them. These churches are cesspools, man. It's cesspools of evil going on in these places, man. Pushing every evil thing. I'm going to get up off it, but I really want to just go on and on and on and on. But I'm going to stop. But yeah, we got brothers out there in El Paso and San Antonio and all those different areas out there teaching and waking up. And furthermore, if you saying, first of all, to even ask me, where's my brothers at in El Paso is a joke. In this respect, because if you was in here laced up with your boots, guess what? I'd send your dumb ass down to El Paso. There you go. You wondering why we ain't in El Paso, which we are, but you wondering if you wondering why we not there is because you haven't had to do with these courageous brothers. I'm done with it. What? Damn right.
Yeah, it was some things you wanted to bring out during the show. I think you and Haas.
I forgot what it was.
Go ahead. Specific story, sir, about Playboy.
Where is this farm at anyway? Right here, Morocco. He says the Bahamas. Okay, Bahamas. Go ahead.
Conor McConnell says this has got to be a humiliation ritual. Memes erupt about Playboy Cardi wearing a thong bodysuit. There's this rapper, you know what I mean? Playboy Cardi performed at the Grammys. And sir, it's a rough picture. You know what I mean? Like he's real popular amongst like a lot of young, you know what I mean, brothers and sisters.
He's supposed to be like a hardcore rapper,
something like that.
And then they found out he's dressed like a woman.
Conor McConnell, sir, it's a rough picture. Slocky before we show it.
Can it be shown? Can it be shown? You got kids in the room. If it's OD, don't even bother with it. We all right without just be everybody could go look it up. And let me tell you something, man. You said something years ago, Muhammad, about a year ago. You said after a while you're gonna see a lot of straight rappers pretending like they're LGBTQ. Well, now they're breaking their neck to perform as an LGBTQ. And Esau is so good at what he did. He took Kevin Hart and made Kevin Hart the biggest black entertainer that he could, solely for that reason. To make sure that you know, if you reject anything that we tell you to reject, you get cut off. That's why Monique got cut off. Just to go back to her again. Monique got cut off because they wanted her to go tour in Europe because she had I mean not tour, like promote the movie, the movie Precious, which was an abomination in the first place. But anyway, she promoted it in the States. Then she went to promote it, according to her. They wanted her to promote it overseas. She said, no problem, but you got to pay me. Because I got to go fly overseas, got to leave my family. And they refused to pay her to promote it. So she stopped. And then that's how she got blackballed. And again, once again, you black leaders, you black wealthy black people, a lot of you're going to be so sorry. The Lord going to take everything you have because you should have been circling the wagons. This woman's still fighting 10 years later. You ain't never going to forgive the broad because she didn't go on tour overseas. You're going to let some disgusting sodomite, you understand, who just cannot stand her, you understand, because he want to be her, walking around in his mansion, wishing he could be a black woman. So he mad because he mad now, you know, she got to be cut off for 20 goddamn years. And where was y'all at? Where was y'all at? You so weak and scary. The more money you have, the more afraid you are of that slave master. That's the thing that's amazing to me. You get more money and become more scared of him, more afraid of him. Y'all should have circled the wagons. You should have found a back door for another way around. 50 Cent finally came out and was like, I'm gonna hire her to do some more work. I don't know whatever happened with it, but the rest of you was scared to death. And meanwhile, here's what's so amazing. Meanwhile, the small hats totally circle the wagon around them. You can't even get production deals. You can't try to open a Broadway play. Go ahead. Try it. I dare you. You won't even get to talk to the owners of the theaters. Like they circle every wagon to make sure you can't get in at all. Please.
Can I give you a perfect example?
Please,
go to court without a lawyer.
Woo.
And you see if that judge won't be insulted.
Yes.
And you don't realize why. You're insulting him because this is their business. And you're not hiring one of his people. And if you walk into that court thinking that you can defend yourself, that judge used to be a lawyer. His cousins are lawyers. His friends are lawyers. And you walk in there thinking you can do it by yourself, you're getting convicted. You better show him that you're hiring one of his people. If you don't want to go to jail, you better start there because they're circling the wagons. They're saying, you're going to jail unless you hire one of us. You're getting convicted. And they do it. Everyone just accepts it and goes out and gets the right lawyer. I pray you understand what I mean. Everybody knows what kind you better walk in there with. The judge goes, all right, now we can start.
That's right.
I see my cousin standing over there.
That's right.
So now we can begin.
That's right.
They treat each other like family.
That's right.
We could do the same.
We could do the same.
We could do the same.
When you go in there and you're going to get that lawyer, just measure the nose.
If you want to go home. If you want to go home, people like to go home.
That's right.
Yeah.
You want to make that bail? Want to beat that case? You know what to do. That nose need to be way out here. It need to be one of them cats that he never got no ass. All he did was study in the books. That's it. Salaki, did I say ass? My bad. Go ahead, Salaki.
If I could, sir, what you was bringing out about Monique was so heavy. I thought like the most disheartening thing, sir, was when she was telling Shannon Sharp that when her and Kevin Hart talked, Kevin Hart promised her that he was going to help her out, go on her show, get the radio show started back up. And then the oppressor, Kevin's agent, called over and told the studio that Kevin don't want nothing to do with them. And Monique, when she broke down and told Shannon, like she called Kevin and said, you going to let this white man come in between me and you when you said we got this? And she said that Kevin said that they would talk. And that was a few years ago and still ain't speak to the brother since.
Right. So in other words, he just blew her off, but he had no intention because once again, somebody made a phone call. Somebody saw her. She didn't want to go overseas. And somebody decided we ain't going to never let her work again. And they've been giving her hell ever since to where even the cat that delivered the message to her, who also I believe is a sodomite, he came back and apologized to her. He knew after all them years, like over that, over one time she didn't promote the movie the way you wanted. So now you reject her and you call up everybody that wants to hire her and totally destroy her career and family. It's just they just diabolical and evil, and you need righteous people to be up in them positions. You know what I'm saying? You need righteous people saying no, don't do that. Do this. You know what I mean? And you need to be willing to sacrifice what they'll give you for your own.
That's right.
If you could sacrifice what they giving you for your own, you could have something.
That's right.
Worth fighting for.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying?
Sir, if I could, let me tell you something.
Oh, shoot, I ran out of time.
If I could, that's why Christ is the king and he the perfect example. We go to Luke, the 4th chapter. Satan tried to tempt Christ with all the kingdoms of the world and all the power therein. If you just worship me, Christ rejected it, man. He turned it down. Turned down all that money and power, all the things you see out here now today that everybody taking from the oppressor to get money and power. Lord gave it to them for a time to give. But to get it, you got to worship them. And if you don't worship them, they're not going to give it to you. Well, our king rejected that deal. He rejected it. He didn't take it, which is an example for you. That's why it's so heavy, man. You got to learn who you are and what your true heritage is. Like, people think you can't be like Christ. You can be like Christ. You got to do the things the Lord said do. That's what Christ did.
That's right.
That's why it's so important that he was born like us. The Bible says in Hebrews that he was born like us, had a mother, father like us. Mary and Joseph had sexual relations and had Christ. That's heavy and that's key because when you see Christ do things in the Bible, you look at it as like something that I can never do because I can't be like him. When that's a lie. Christ was born like me and you. And because he was, we can do the things he did. You know what I mean? We doing it in I.S.U.P.K. You just got to obey the Most High and learn how to deny, like how Commander GEN.YAHANNA said. And don't take that deal, but take the deal of being down with your people. And that's what Christ did. Christ turned down Satan and all that money and power for the nation of Israel. Now, when you think about that there, think about all them leaders you so-called worship and love and all that kind of stuff there. They took the deal. And they ain't thinking about you. Kevin Hart took that deal. But it's why he ain't called Monique back. Monique said he used to call her mama, auntie, the whole nine, right? But when it came to that money, she meant nothing to him. He took the deal. You understand? But our King Christ didn't take that deal, man, and gave his life for us. So that should give you a whole different now, mindset on what we got to do for the Lord and his truth. That's all. Sorry,
God, and damn right. And if I could add one last point before we go, let's not forget that the root of all of them beefs up there in Hollywood is because you got a slave master over you, and he got you. Even though you are a celebrity, he got you scrapping. You understand? And trying to use him to stay in his good graces. If he wasn't there, Kevin Hart would do what the hell he wanted to do. Shay, whatever his name is. Well, I ain't calling him that name. That's too. Yeah, Shannon. I'll call him Sharp. That's it. That other name was Lil. I ain't playing with that. You know what I mean? So, he would do what he want, and the same with Tyler Perry, and the same with everybody else would do what they want, and it would be, a done deal. Let me read a couple of things before I go. Amana Bafia Howard said, when they put Kevin in that purple dress, it was all over. Good point. Yep. Good point. Yep. Randy Jackson, I don't know if this is the Randy Jackson that is on that show, but Randy said, where I'm confused at is why aren't you all up in arms about the movie Killer of the Flower Moon, a movie about the so-called Native American Indians in Oklahoma? Oh, we're going to go check it out. I haven't seen it. I haven't heard of it. No. We haven't heard of it, man. We out here in the field, so we don't hear it like y'all might hear it. You know what I mean? So we'll look into it, Randy, and take a look at it and see what the deal is with it. Big shout out to Tony Davis. Big shout out to Blackley. Kabad Amath. That's it. We got that name in there. Go ahead, Kabad. Tony Davis. Carmen Roberts. Big shout out to y'all. Bathrawana. Big shout out to you. Moritz. Big shout out to you. Kasala. UPK. Kasala. I hope I got that right. Okay. UPK. Triffle. White Man's Wicked Kingdom. Big shout out to you. Seattle since 1980, holding it down. ISUPK Buffalo, my main man. We hooked up at the past, so up at the council this week. Samantha Cabrera, big shout out to you. Adama, what's happening, man? Public Pretenders holding it down. Hey, wait, is he calling us public pretenders? What's Adama talk? Oh, those in that seat. I understand. All right. Nazam Anna, Jewel, Fax 100. Big shout out to you. Makwalat always holding us down. And many, many more. We'll see y'all next time live on the UPK. Y'all, thanks for hanging till 11, man. Hey, go to ISUPK.com. Pay them tithes, man. Give me that 10% like you go. All right, y'all. Shalom. Heavy hitters, y'all know how it go. I say it every week. I say it every week. Oh, God.